Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Darius Wallace, I keep forgetting to say that you can engage me if you want at my website at dariuswallace.com and subscribe for a newsletter and any other information you want to find out about, who I am, what I do as an actor, storyteller, and even coach. So I'm getting ready to go coach, but I'm also having to go back into practicing or rehearsing three different one-person shows. And so today it makes me think about the idea of practice and consistency. It really is amazing to me, first with me, being an actor and how hard it is sometimes to, not just sometimes, a lot to rehearse, to practice. And that feeling of either guilt when I don't feel like it, or just being so busy that I don't make time for it, that I don't make it a priority. And then what that means for me in how I'm endangering how I show up for audiences when I don't work, when I don't practice. And then when I'm not consistent, right? Consistency is really, really important. And so I try to be consistent and to practice and to create methods that make it enjoyable. And one of the things that makes it enjoyable is um, when um, uh, when I find a way to make little bits of what I have to practice in my acting enjoyable because of the art itself, and what that means. In other words, that for every given moment, I'm able to exercise the techniques that I know. And then in exercising the techniques that I know, the reward are the award is the outcome, or what I'm trying to achieve to see that it comes to fruition. So, it is a little difficult to get out there and start practicing, to be consistent. But the breaking down of it is what helps me. And, I have students that they struggle with time, they struggle with practicing. And a lot of times we get back together and it seems like we're almost starting over because they haven't really worked on it. Not because they don't want to, but because they're super busy. And it is hard to stay consistent. But when you are able to stay consistent, if you think about it, ask yourself, everyone knows the story of the Titanic. And if you don't, look it up. But ask yourself, well, what is an iceberg? Now, it's not a metaphor. I'm not talking about what an iceberg is metaphorically. But if you ask yourself, well, what is an iceberg? And if you think it's floating ice only, well, I think that might have been what the Titanic thought, the unsinkable ship. And what ended up happening was it hit it. And I think that they tried to miss it, thinking that it wouldn't damage the ship too bad, but it ended up going down. And it's because an iceberg is not just floating ice, it's actually a mountain. And the iceberg is really like the tip of the mountain. So when we are consistent and when we practice and we rehearse, it's that mountain work. It's the work that people can't see. But the impact of our work is as strong as a mountain. Even though it looks like just the tip of an iceberg, the strength of it is buried deep into a space where none of us can see. And so I want to encourage those of you that are actors and performers and even in other disciplines to get into a space of being consistent with practice. And one way to make practice enjoyable is to break it down into bits, bite size only. I had a martial arts teacher say to me, master actually say to me, 5 minutes of practice a day is more effective than 3 hours of practice every other day. And it's because of a law, and that universal law is called the law of momentum. So the idea is to keep that momentum going. So in this day of coaching and then rehearsing and practicing myself, I wanted to, one, let you know that I get it, because I'm an actor, also storyteller also. I go through it. But that when I do it, and I do it consistently, it shows up for me when I get in front of an audience. And I believe that when you do it, whatever kind of practice you do, that when you get in front of the people that you're going to be with, that your practice and your preparation and your consistency will show up for others too. So I'm headed off to do what I got to do today. Oh, by the way, some good coffee I'm drinking. You all stay inspired, stay encouraged, stay enthused, stay connected, and short this time, but I'll see you next time. Peace.